I think that having a relationship as a Roman Catholic priest and having a sense of intimacy, whether or not that includes genital sexual behaviors along the continuum, various sexual activities among Roman Catholic priests, I think that helps and enhances a person's ability to minister, because they know feelings, they know a sense of vulnerability. The issue for me is that of fidelity to a public vow that is made. And that is separate than the genital sexual expression, because it could be poverty, it could be chastity, it could be obedience. And the question for me is, am I living a life of integrity and transparency, or am I living a life, a double life and duplicity? And that becomes a questionable behavior for me. And so I've always, my history has been about honesty and truthfulness and transparency. I think that different priests are at different places on their journey in life, and they struggle for a life of integrity, a life of fidelity to the public vows that they've made. I propose that we look at celibacy on a continuum so that priests may live a life of fidelity and a life of transparency. So priests who are able to live a life of a traditional Orthodox understanding of celibate chastity, and being at one end of the continuum, and priests who are unable to, or thinking about leaving the priesthood or active ministry and getting married or getting into a relationship with a person of the same gender. Perhaps they are at the other end and are still active as a priest as they're preparing to leave the priesthood. And then you've got in the middle of the continuum, priests who are struggling and not really knowing what they want to accomplish in terms of their fidelity to their vow. So I do not think that they should do this alone. I think it should always be done in conjunction with, or in dialogue with, a spiritual director or pastoral counselor, or a good friend or a therapist. But I do believe it is an issue of integrity and personal conscience, but it needs to be an informed conscience and not just a fly-by-night decision on the part of the priest. So I dedicated the book to Father Larry Tozio, who is was a Franciscan priest, and of course until his death. And he was pretty open about the fact that he had HIV and he died of AIDS I believe it was the 80s. He was my spiritual director and my confessor when I was in college, going to California State University in Sacramento, and he was assigned in Sacramento. So he was a person that was very close to my heart. So I dedicated my doctoral dissertation to him as well. And this book, because it is about telling the truth, that's what Larry was about, telling the truth. And I thought that he would be the absolute right person for me to dedicate this book to.